Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 623. Today we'll be playing the Ranger and Backpack Battles. And so, been out here tanking LP. I've lost like 30 LP over the course of the past day or so. I feel like I've had a pretty good learning experience in the matter, but it is a bummer to see that number go down. So let's see what we can do here. We're guaranteed to have a good battle this game. Maybe we'll even get some bonus LP out of it along the way. See what happens here. Pretty gnarly shop. This is pretty garbagey as I don't want the... I guess it's not that bad, right? The items that we do want, we're buying every game and they're on sale with the Walrus Tusk and the sword. And then so we can still say afford to roll. Let me slow it down a little bit and quit complaining right out the gates. I guess the good question here is, do we want to take the bag of stones? It's not on sale, but even picking up one stone here in the early game is pretty good. So let's load that up and take a roll. Any bonuses in here? Big on sale, like great sales today, right? Getting that the spiked shield on the first round. We got the double sword in here. That's kind of okay. I'm not opposed to selling off the bag of stones. We only lose 1 gold this way, and picking up the banana. And so I mean we've got a pretty good start with the 2 weapons and then the sustain out of both the shield and the banana. I think we should be okay. Tough round against the 45 armor start from the leather armor, but I think his start struggles to beat the banana. Can't tell. I'm not really sure who's gonna win this one here. It's tough to tell when those buckler hits are gonna hit. They hit. We got him. GG. So, all right, another fairly unappealing shop. Just no upgrades as far as the weapons go. It can say, like, I think what we want to do here actually is just say take the healing herbs, lock the bag, and then roll. And then we can see what turns up, right? If we find stuff that can fit in our bag right now, that would be great. I don't really want to be going into this next round with no upgrades to our active board. But if we completely whiff, then we can still get the bag, and then it'll still be here for next round. But I think this is okay. Like, we can get rid of these blueberries if we want. I'm on board with upgrading a wooden sword to a torch. Maybe that's the angle we're kind of looking towards here is maybe we're looking to make an early mana torch. I'm not opposed to that. I think that might actually be decent here. And so let's hang on to the blueberries, not immediately sell them, but I don't think we need them in the bag right now. Let's go ahead and just add in the garlic so that we get that good sustain here. Like, this is a very strong sustain heavy set of items that we have. And then I'm not, guaranteeing that we're going to jump into a mana build, but the possibilities are certainly going to be here. Just as you see these patch notes to where the holy spear gets updated every single round, and there's the acorn thing that works off the crit wand and stuff. We have a lot of really good options as far as the mana builds go, but I think we're gonna struggle with this round. He scaled up too fast. We just weren't dealing enough damage here. That's okay. Another reasonable set. We do have the access to the Walrus Tusk here, which is going to be a pretty decent early game item for us. I think that's about where we want to go. Like, the pain point here is if we want to get all of this stuff, the Walrus Tusk, the leather bag, and the Gloves of Haste, we need to sell off the wooden sword. And so we have to just have a full sustain round to make this work. And I'm having a round like that last one, if we run into too much scaling, then we're just gonna lose. But I think this is okay. And then the question here is, do we want to lock the broom? If we're going to really be serious about going towards one of these mana builds, I need to find a broom, but we don't necessarily need to find it super early, right? I think it would be okay in the early game if we say... The thing you worry about is like finding mana orb but not having the broom. But I think if we have the orb and then make mana thirst first, it wouldn't feel terrible. And so I'm not going to lock in the broom here. I think we're strong enough without it. All right, another scaling build. Bummer. Bummer. This guy doesn't at least scale as hard as the last guy did. He only has the shell totem and um, doesn't have the Reaper bag, but still really painful. We knew that that was going to be rough. And so here, definitely looking to pick up investment opportunity. Super Spacious and Piggy Pinata aren't that great. Investment opportunity does have the potential to work if the Mana Torch turns up, and we found the items for it, right? We've got the health potion here that we need to get that upgrade in. Excited for that. The makings of a hero sword are here, but I don't really want to push a. I don't really want to push towards a. Like Falcon Blade. It doesn't work towards these mana builds. And so, guess we'll just add in the useless bag. Call it a day. It's a pain point there since our bags were completely full. We can't like just lock the bag and move on. And so, a little rough. But I think we're okay here. Like, we have the scaling this round where he doesn't. He might just be out deepsing our sustain, but we do get the empowereds off of the gloves, and then the torch naturally upgrades on its own, and so good stuff there. And then sweet, our friend Hungry Blade turns up, and so all the items we're really looking for here are on point. This mana build is ready to pop off. We do just need to start finding those mana orbs, and we'll definitely lock in a broom if one turns up here in a little bit. So broom, good deal. Don't wanna let that go. Do something easy peasy like this. We have the money for the stone to put in. We'll lock in this bag. Okay, so yeah, we just need to find a mana generator now. But otherwise, our build is looking reasonable. Going to be getting all this bonus health from the investment opportunity. It's going to be sweet as shit. Going to be so many nuggets of corn in that turd. All right, he just got his big heal off of the skill. Maybe it's going to be close. Ooh, that was close. We had some big upgrades there at the end though, and so definitely got lucky with that one. So, all right. What are we going to do? Picking up the bag for certain. Now we need to find a mana generator. I see these dragon eggs, and I just want to take it every single time. I don't think it's going to work here, though. We'll pick up the garlic just to make sure we get a little bit of sustain, something that we can get on board right now. And then perfect, absolutely perfect, the mana orb turning up. But this is a real question in the sense of, do we want to make the wand, or do we want to make the mana thirst out of the Hungry Blade? And I'm pretty certain we want the mana thirst. It's just good right now, right? If we have the torch on board generating mana, or we have a way to spend the mana that the torch uses, and so I think that's definitely where we want to be. Get to start something like this. We can shift these bags over to get big usage out of the mana orb. I dig it. Things are going well. I don't think we want any of this other garbage. Getting 2 activators on the investment opportunity. Yeah, like it. All right, a burning sword and a spear. Let's see how we do. This round, I guess, will be a little weak, but no, that was not factual. We were pretty strong there. All right, good stuff. And so yeah, the acorn collar we definitely need as well to make the critwood staff. So we'll get it in here. Fits nicely in the bag as we have it. That looks good. On sale healing herbs I'm pretty okay with. Give us a little bit of sustain. I don't really want these lucky clovers, but we do need some ways to generate clovers. Like I wouldn't mind adding flutes as our stamina generator of choice, as we're going to have pretty big mana drain out here with the magic torch and all this stuff, and so we're not going to have full consistency on the critwood staff keeping our clovers up to give us that 100% crit, and so having some lucky clovers would be nice, but probably a little meh at this stage. Maybe we just want to pick up Gloves of Haste. We can just get these weapons at a high powered attack speed if we want. Why does this not work? Starred item uses a buff. Oh, it's just on mana gained. The mana thirst hits. Sure, whatever. It's not a big deal. I was trying to think if is there. Let's look at this real quick just to see if what I want works. No, what I want's just not going to work. I guess we can, like, if we want to use the mana torch, we could put the gloves here and then get the banana out to the right of it to keep our stamina up. I don't hate that idea, right? If we say put this bag here, the gloves here, and then the banana to the right. It's a decent upgrade here. Okay, let's do it. All right, battle begin. I think we're strong, right? Oh shit, our mana torch is the wrong way. Oops. Oh, at least it gets to upgrade one weapon, right? Maybe we're just strong enough to where it doesn't matter. R. Rip. And so, okay, this will be a fantastic place to take the Yggdrasil leaf. It works with the investment opportunity. It works with things like the mana torch, gives us that big mana right up at the beginning. I have kind of dabbled with Beastmaster in some of these builds. Like if we find ourselves with an early Goobert, but like an early Steel Goobert because we were trying to Hero Sword into pets, but then we pivot over into mana. Beastmaster isn't the worst, giving you kind of a mana / clover generator like we mentioned with the flute, but it's not super strong. And then I haven't really found out how I want with the Grove Keeper in terms of, if we're getting the like permanent crit off of the Critwood staff, then do we really want to be in with the Mega Clover? Like a few patches ago, there was a very powerful Mega Clover mana build, but I don't think that that's really the way to go anymore. And so I am going to go with the Life Binder here as opposed to trying to go for that big crit build, because I think we'll also get a lot of usage out of this mana if we're going to have both a torch and the big broom. All right, so let's roll on. Nothing really useful here. Interested in making a heroic potion. Definitely interested in the stamina sack. We got to keep some of these foods around for the Yggdrasil leaf. Just it's a bit awkward at the moment. Maybe we can. How much can we max out on this thing? Do something like this. We miss out on a little bit of the activations on the garlics, but I think this is fine. And then I do want to pick up this thing as our big upgrade for the round. We just do this. There's got to be a rotate in here that works. That's it. And then is the investment opportunity missing anything? Oh, it doesn't. Why doesn't it work on the leaf? The starred item uses a buff. And then the leaf, when it's 5 mana used, it heals. And so is it when the magic torch uses mana that's going to activate the investment opportunity? I'm not certain how that actually goes. Like some of these activators don't physically activate themselves. It just makes other stuff activate. So maybe the mana spend from the magic torch will count towards the leaf. I'm not entirely certain how that's going to be. Did get a flip on the torch though. Almost forgot to do that. All right, this guy's zinging us a little bit harder. Not spending the mana as fast as we need. Did he? Okay, maybe this was fine. Like I saw the pets out here, and I was like, does he already have upgraded pets before like we've got to the opportunity to get anything? Like, did he get multiple rounds out of the subclass? I don't think he did. All right, nothing useful here. We definitely looking to be like a big OTK crit style of build, so I'm not looking for stuff that generates a lot of sustain. Not really interested in the potion belt at the moment. Is okay stuff here. The pineapple on sale is kind of good right now. We need to be kind of okay right now, but we probably... This is tough. I mean, it's on sale. We can keep digging. If something better turns up, then we can just pivot away. But good things out of this one, right? We definitely want this glowing crown. The protective purse is good. I'm curious in the sense of... I know that there was an on-sale spear on the last... the last round, and we're passing on it as we look to pick up the glowing crown now, so that might have been a bit of a mistake, but kind of is what it is, you know. All right, how we looking out here? All of our natures are on the leaf. Looks good. Investment opportunity still out here. Good thing. Glowing crown locked in. Need to find a mana orb. Okay. So yeah, mana orbs be good. I haven't. I don't know the last time I've seen a prismatic orb. It's probably been like a year, and so I know that they've been nerfed a few times over and aren't as strong as they used to be, but they're still good. All right, our stamina's burning through as well. Gotta remember that. I'm not quite certain where it was gonna stand. What do we got here? Just all the shit items? That kind of sucks. Hardwood does pretty much nothing. Stone does what we have to take because we have a couple garlics, but just shit skills, like literal shit skills with the stoned and the investment opportunity. Fine. All right, well, let's pick up the two big items here. We can roll a little bit, see if we turn up a mana orb. Didn't do it. Probably shouldn't have taken that garlic, but we're kind of... I thought that we were going to get something good there, and it didn't. It didn't happen. So what can we even get in here? We can get the stoned in. We can get a... blueberries in. I think that's as good as it's going to be. This is another weird one, right? I guess it's not spending buffs to activate the investment opportunity. I don't know how that works. Like, it's very clear that it works on the mana torch. Let's see our health here. We're at like 150. I'm curious to what it's at the end of the battle. I don't have huge expectations out of this, right? It just gains a very little bit of health, but I don't know. It feels like it activates weird. So it gained us a whole 15 health. I guess we shouldn't worry about it too much. But all right, decent stuff here with the stamina sack. Gen lamp, I'm not opposed to, but our build needs to come together with this broom, and so I think we gotta keep rolling away from it. Nothing super useful here. We already have our scaling and the magic torch, so we don't need the oil lamp. Not opposed to a potion belt at this point. We do need to keep adding space in our build. It's one way to do it. I think we can take one more roll. On sale flute is kind of good. Get it in next round. Okay. It's been a bit of a bummer with these. The items we're looking for aren't really turning up. So is that it? 2 hexes off on the leaf. Like, we could probably look to move the leaf down here at this point, but I'll keep it here for this one round. And then we're at least improving a little bit, right? We should get that flute on board next turn. Start generating more clovers. Those clovers start to work a bit with blueberries on occasion, and so... Well, they probably won't activate this game. The mana torch is doing its thing. Yeah, just got wrecked. have to find the upgrades. Like I really want to take the second glowing crown, but we like have to find that mana orb. Let's pick up the bag and get to rolling. Again, I'm curious at what point would we be interested in, say, a fancy fencing rapier. We can, say, like, replace the claws of attack with it. Just gives us something that does actual damage to where the claws of attack is starting to fall off. I think that this is reasonable, especially with it being on sale. So we're going to get rid of the claws. Don't want this garlic. We're not going to use it. Let's take another roll. Little interested in the heroic potion, since we did stamina out there a little bit earlier. All right, yeah, just not going right. This should be a bit of a better position for the leaf. Is it? Maybe this will be the better one. So we're at those activations are in, and now it's like we got to circle back and make this flute fit in. I think that's okay enough for the moment. It's not super ideal with it only getting 4 hexes, but we're gonna struggle to find a more reasonable place for it. Here we go. We'll get this 1 health whenever the glowing crown activates right at the beginning of the battle, and that's what's that's what's going to be the deciding factor. Okay. Ugh. We got here scaling food build. I don't know. He's got gingerbread Jerry, but he doesn't have the food stuff to go with him. How's he even activating this? Got fucking annihilated. What does he do? Clover's heat and mana? Where's he getting heat from? He's not buff stealing. Doesn't come from the gen lamp. What am I messing with this? Oh, the Mega Clover activation right at the beginning of the battle? Sure. Alright, well, here's a prismatic orb, I guess, but it's just not what we need. Like I don't know. It's such a struggle at this point, having gotten this far and then just not found a second mana orb. I don't know what else to say about it. We can stop here with the stamina sack. The rerolls are going to get too expensive. All right. Well, what else can we get in the orb? We can push the blueberries up. Just getting sad about it. It's not everything here has just been so garbagey. Can get the flute in as well, right? It's a magic item. Not super well positioned, but it's better than it was the last round. Ooh. All right. So we're losing the 1 activation on the leaf from the orb, the 1 activation on the mana thirst. Not a ton we can do about it. We can look to start pushing the weapons over to the left, but I don't think we're going to get a ton of activations that we're currently missing. I think this looks good. Oh, the flute. I control Z'd too far past the flute. There we go. Every opportunity we have on the prismatic orb is hitting now, though. Here's what's gonna get him, right? We'll add the stone in. That's that's what we needed. Fuck's this guy doing? Vampiric holy build? Okay. Seems like we'll sustain through this. Oh shit! I said that, and then his heal came in. Oh my god, we're just getting crushed again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that's such a rough set of games. Like we have the scaling stuff, right? The fancy fencing's dealing a ton of damage. The torch is dealing a ton of damage. The mana thirst, like these are all like reasonably damage based items. He only has the what is this? Is what's the deeps look like at 23, 16, and 16? I guess we're not looking that great when he's doing 60 deeps off the Hungry Blade at the end, and that's how we got crushed. But like, man, like I don't know how good this build would have been even if we like found the Critwood staff. Like it's just one of these games to where the skills can just kind of dumpster on you, right? If you don't hit on any skills, you're not really getting those things that can push you up onto the high end. Like getting stuck out here with stoned and getting stuck out here at the investment opportunity just didn't do it. And like having that's not enough to just like completely knock you out of the game, but it's enough when the rest of the build just doesn't come together. And so like I think that we took pretty decent pathing with this one, right? We had that early mana torch turn up. We lost those early rounds when things didn't come together, but we did eventually get like a good high impact mid game. But then once we got that mid game of having the mana torch, the mana thirst, and then the hungry gloves or whatever they're called, just like literally nothing ever turned up. And so it was just like this weird spike of a game to where the beginning rounds were just complete dog shit. The middle was super high powered. It felt like even if things in the middle went wrong, then we should have at least been able to make it to the survival rounds. But then it was like we got a bad skill. We never turned up a second mana orb, or definitely not a third mana orb. And just like the things that really activate these mana builds just didn't show up. And so that's that's kind of tough for me in the sense that whenever I look at these builds, like how good is it when it's good and how bad is it when it's bad? The thing that seems unfortunate to me with these mana builds is when it's good, it's good enough to get you to the survival round, or you might be able to like push 1 or 2 wins after the survival round, but it doesn't seem super likely. And when they're bad, it's this. And so if this was something that was like very consistently getting, say, like +4 LP, I would feel pretty decent about it, but it feels like it just doesn't quite get there. And so I'm not certain what the answer is with that, especially in the sense that if you look at a lot of builds, like if you see us go with these ranger builds to where we're trying to just go for the pet build every time, and it doesn't come together because you didn't get a thorn whip, you can still use like a fancy fencing rapier, right? You have other options as far as the weapons that you can put in. You can put in like a thorn ripper and still get pretty far in the battle, or you can even just have like a mana torch and one more item and then just generate mana off of the big bowl of treats and off of buff steals, and push through that way. And it doesn't sound like completely ridiculous to be able to push those builds up. Like whenever one piece of the puzzle doesn't come together, they don't completely fall apart. But these builds that are searching for mana orbs, like when you need combination items to come together, and then when they don't come together, you just lose. And so, like when you have a build like that, it needs to do really good at the top end. And I just don't think that this build does it. And so it's why I've been like so ultra reluctant to build mana in this patch. Like I've seen a lot of mana builds over the course of the past few days. It's been like pretty frustrating in the sense that I don't get why these mana builds are good. It might just be because a lot of the defense I go for is the spiked shield, and then those mana builds just hard counter the spiked shield because it doesn't do anything against a wand. But like I see those builds just like winning so frequently, and I can't decide why they're winning. If it's just because I've been going like pet in 80% of the games, or if it's because they're actually good. And it's just it's tough for me to understand when there's not like meta statistics to come out and see and look at. It's very strange when the meta just has to be completely from feel and not getting to see, oh, this build is good against X, this build is good against Y, and like tackling it that way. I'm just so used to having stats from literally every single card game and them being non-existent in this one. And so I don't know. Like I definitely am inexperienced with the mana builds, but this definitely went to shit after that mid game power spike. We definitely didn't get to ramp up into anything big. Like I think the only big decision we had was the subclass, and I think the leaf is the correct one, especially as we're looking to have a build that has both mana torch and the wand, and getting this I don't know, +12 mana or +16 mana right at the start to keep those activations going. Definitely seems better than like needing to find two mana thirsts, or better than having like big bowl of treats slowly RNG extra mana out there. And so I think we took the correct path. It just got dumpstered on by RNGesus. I don't know. But nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bust and We. Thank you for being here.